Use against Zeus the standard monorails by addition. They can manage block words and change chat mode to live. Okay, that's good to know. I'll worry about that later. How everybody doing today? It's a beautiful Saturday. I'm down in Florida. It's pretty beautiful out here. It's not too cold, even though I think last night got into the 30s. Don't really have much to talk about. I thought I was getting on live for a minute and see what everybody want to talk about, what everybody's doing. So yeah, my name is Anthony. Check out my YouTube videos. Subscribe to my page sometime. That'd be really great and helpful. So I got a question. How are all the parents doing out there? I know it's Christmas season, and if you celebrate that holiday, or even if you don't celebrate that holiday and you're pressured into it, you normally gotta do something for your kids, right? Oh, I need a piece of paper, paper towel. I need something. I've been getting some good sleep lately. Where y'all from? I'm just kind of curious. I always find it interesting when I get people that's like overseas. One thing I do want to talk about is that how you've been noticing a shift when it comes to the opinion or thoughts of people, especially in America lately. Like in the last year or so, China went from being like a undeveloped third world country, at least to a lot of Americans, and then we realized that China is more advanced than America in a lot of ways. And a lot of their culture and things is really beautiful. And yeah, it's just crazy how we think about them. I'm just tearing up shit in my car. Maybe I shouldn't have said that curse word, but I got nothing else better to do. I'm about to go inside soon. Oh, man. I'm sure it's dead this Saturday. Is everybody still asleep from Thanksgiving? I was watching an Elite Attorney, and he was saying how at one point in time, he used to get on live and talk to nobody for like hours on end. And it took him a while to develop his platform to get it to where it is now. Because even back then, before he had like over 300,000 subscribers, I haven't looked at his show in a while. He was like, I barely had 10, and it just took him a while to develop and grow. Funny enough, I think I had my channel way before his. I really didn't start taking this social media YouTube stuff seriously for about maybe a year and a half ago. Mainly because I just needed an outlet to talk and give my opinions, because a lot of the times the opinions I have are not really popular with the people around me in my area. It's kind of like that whenever you're living in a small town. Whenever you live in a small town, people still have small town ways of viewing things. And sometimes that stuff can be very backwards and very narrow-minded most of the time. And that's the most courteous way to say it. I don't know. It's I don't know if any of y'all live in a small town, especially a small southern town, but you know what I mean. The small town mindset is still stuck in like in the 1950s most of the time. The technology is proved, but the viewpoints and opinions hasn't changed. Um, I don't know. But yeah, if you're watching, I appreciate you watching. Like, comment, subscribe too. I can always use a new subscriber or two. YouTube is a business at the end of the day. Hey, thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Hi. What's up? Rodriguez? Hi, Rodriguez. So where are you from? Are you from the United States? Or on islands, overseas? Just kind of curious. USA? Cool, cool. Now, I've been in other countries, right, for the most part, and you'd be it's kind of surprising how negative the other countries think of Americans, right? Um, Now you have some that think America is great. They want to come here, everything else. We have other countries that's like, America, why? No. Like they don't never want to visit America at all. And to an extent, I don't blame them because a lot of the stuff America pushes out to the rest of the world is pretty negative about us, which I don't understand why. Understand why they don't do like China. Like if you see anything pushed out by China about from China about China, it's super positive, beautiful. They show all their infrastructures, their nature, and all this other kind of stuff, right? Like China, they got marketing down perfectly. But when it comes to America, we just show our dirty laundry out to everybody. And I'm just like, why? Why? Why do we seem to do that? But I will. One thing I will say I noticed is, who is that? That's a long name. My goodness. I was gonna say engineering. Hey, how's it going? You're in the U.S. too. But I will say this. I will say that somebody who's born and raised in America, I do notice whenever sometimes a lot of foreigners come over to America, they have zero respect for the black people in America, like zero. And that's mainly because of what's being pushed out there. That's normally not true. And when I say normally, most of the negative media you see about black people is not true at all. Do we have our issues? 100%. Every single ethnic group has their own issues and problems. But if you look at the facts when it comes to like the population and who commits the most crimes and offenses, it's normally not black people. It's normally not black people at all. In fact, it's not black people or Mexicans. It's normally the pale ones, right? But because they own all the media and everything else, they can push all the problems on the black and brown, which is why I never understood when it comes to black and brown. We have a lot most of the time. And I've always said that the minorities have more in common with each other than we do with everybody else. When I say everybody else, the pale people. Even on TikTok, I've been noticing TikToks, the Asian people on there are sitting here fighting back and forth with each other about whitewash Asians and things like that. And, you know, that's conversations you normally never really heard. But now it's just out in the open. You know what I would like one day to see? I would like to see a, I would like to see a large gathering of all the minorities of that's in America, the major minorities, right? The blacks, Hispanic, Asians, things of that nature. I'm just gonna call you the alphabet. And even not even alphabet, because y'all know vowels in there. Yeah, there's no vowels in your name, but hi. I don't know who that is. I seen Dexter. Was he a minor character? I don't know who he is. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I would love to see like a really big gathering of just like all the minorities, the bigger minorities in America. So you know, you got the Black Americans, the Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, and just all come together, sit down, and just have a get together. We all just listen to music, we eat, we talk, and try to understand each other. I would love to see. Now everybody else can stay out, but you know, the main group who's always been lied on, oppressed. I know who Dokes is. You know, I know who Dokes is, but I don't know who any other black characters on that show. I gotta look it up later when I get off the phone, to be honest with you. Um, but thank you, Semper, for that clarification. I'll look them up. Dexter was a really great show. I actually really liked Dexter a lot. The first 3 to 4 seasons was great. Season 8, he's all the way in season 8. I haven't seen it. I haven't watched none of the new seasons of Dexter, because I'm pretty sure I thought it stopped at like 5 seasons or something like that. and then you had the continuations. I haven't watched any of the continuations yet, mainly because I don't want to pay for another subscription. I don't want to pay for another subscription to, what was it, on Showtime? That was a Showtime show, right? Yeah, I don't want to do that. I already paid for, I actually just renewed my subscription to Netflix. I recently canceled my Hulu because, you know, there's nothing to watch, and I'm going to keep paying for it. The only reason I renewed my Netflix subscription because I wanted to see that Selena documentary. I'm going to watch that Eddie Murphy documentary that he did, and then I want to watch the last season of Stranger Things, which I already did the Stranger Things one. I just went to the Selena, and I'm going to go ahead and go and watch the Eddie Murphy one next. But outside that, I don't watch too much TV. I'm normally making YouTube videos or working my main job. So between the two, I'm always busy. And plus, I'm a father that has to drive his kid back and forth all over the place. Yeah, my time is gone. And the only time I got to watch those shows because I was on vacation last week, so I got to sit here and watch some TV and just sit down and be like, all right, I don't gotta drive nowhere. I don't gotta work my main job. So let me just sit here and relax and just get some sleep, which is why the bad of my eyes have like almost gone away. It was a show, maybe you will like it have an 8th season. Okay. But yeah, but I'll look him up though. So if he's in season 8 or before, I'll look him up and see what he looks like. I don't know, man. Like I said, this is a sunny day outside. I just backed into my driveway. I don't feel like going inside my house right now, so I said, let me just go ahead and hop on YouTube Live. I really haven't done that in a while. And just, just talk to the people. Why not? Talk to whoever wants to hop in, have a conversation, whatever y'all want to talk about. I don't care. I'm pretty open book about most things. I remember one time I had a live, I had like a 1-hour discussion back and forth about religion. That was fun. But I say fun very loosely, but I just, oh man. Let's see. Maybe it's a Mean Ghost surprise. You see, his name was Dokes. It wasn't Butch. It was a Butch. It was Dokes. So I know who Dokes is, but I don't think I look anything like Dokes. But he was the best part of the show. I wish him and Dexter would have got into a fist fight. Now, if him and Dexter would have got into a fixed fight, just to see who would have won. I wanted to see who would have won between a fight between those two, because in that surprise mother effer scene, they kind of like linked up, but they didn't. They got interrupted before they actually got to throw down for real, which is very disappointing. And then before he got dead, him and Dexter were pretty good together to fight against the cartel members. I feel they wasted a lot of potential to show when they got rid of Dokes early. And the show wasn't as interesting when Dokes got taken out either, in my opinion. Why don't you do some new stuff, like talk about any show or something for your chances to YouTube more, or even gaming and stuff? So I haven't really, all right, I'll be honest with you. I did used to like to play my PlayStation a lot, but then I realized my PlayStation was getting in the way of my goals. So I would play my PlayStation. I didn't work as much. I didn't work out as much. I didn't upload videos as much. So I went ahead and got rid of my PlayStation from now until I make my goals when it comes to YouTube. I say I'll buy another PlayStation once I hit 10,000 subscribers, and then I'll start playing games again probably. But you're not the only one that said that maybe I should do like some type of gaming content to help make money or get my subscribers up, which is cool. I guess I could be on the game, right? But when it comes to that, that's why I don't really do that. I just don't have a system anymore. Shows, I did actually talk about shows for a little bit. So if you look at some of my really old videos, so I've been making videos for a while, but I've been consistently doing videos a lot for like the last year and a half. But I did a few reviews on All American. I really liked All American, great show. I haven't watched none of the new season, but the original season, it was great. I will say Spencer got on my effing nerves a lot of the time because Spencer created a lot of his own problems and drama. But that's another conversation for itself. But thanks for the suggestions. Most of the stuff I make on YouTube is more commentary, life stuff. You know, I made a lot of videos about Chrisean Rock. I can't stand that woman. I cannot stand Chrisean Rock. It's borderline almost hate for Chrisean Rock, and it's rightfully deserved. You don't sit here and threaten or imply or insinuate or infer, however you want to say it, that you want your baby daddy dead. And truth be told, I don't even think that's her baby daddy. I think the guy that mysteriously, how did he die? Ronnie? His name was Ronnie, right? I can't think of how he died. I can't remember if he got gunned down in front of his house or in his car. It was weird. I think that was the baby daddy, if I'm being really honest with you. And because that little baby looks so much like Ronnie, I think his name was Ronnie. That baby looks so much like Ronnie now, it's uncanny. There's no way that's Blueface kid. No way. Especially when you see Blueface other kids. Like when he recently got out of prison and he went to go see his family and you saw all his other kids and his other kids, even the girl, are the splitting image of that man. No. There's no way that little boy is his. There's no way. I will say this though. Chrisean Rock, in my opinion, needs to go to jail. What's this? Let's see. Play The Walking Dead. It has 3 seasons. It's a nice try. You will have a phone record, even a laptop channel. When you say Walking Dead, you mean the TV show? The TV show that's still going, I think? Because I honestly thought The Walking Dead stopped when Rick died, and then I found out that it was still going on. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna pay attention to this soon, dumbass. But yeah, the TV show, the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead was great. It was phenomenal. That was some great TV. And that's, another great TV show was Into the Badlands. That was a show that was cut off early and very unappreciated. That was a really great TV show. I wish it would have had at least a final season, because you're sitting there and you're getting into it and you think you're going to see what's going to happen at the end, and then it just disappears. Into the Badlands, great show. If you haven't watched Into the Badlands, go give Into the Badlands a shot. All right, I will go ahead. Is your last name playing Sing? Breaking Bad was a good show too. I will say, when it comes to Breaking Bad, I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending. I'm not just talking about the show, even the movie too. I wanted Walt to win. When it comes to Breaking Bad, I wanted Walt to win. I wanted Walt to just escape with all his money. I know he did a lot of despicable things, and he's responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of people being killed. I am fully aware of that. However, though, I wanted to see him win. I'm always a person that I like to see the villain win sometimes. You haven't watched Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad has been out for over 10 years. I think the show ended before COVID. I mean, I will say this when it comes to Breaking Bad, the first season is very slow. You got to be patient with it. It gets really good around the 3rd season. It gets great around the 3rd season. That's why I tell people, like, if you watch Breaking Bad, don't give up on it because the first season is kind of slow. It gets great. and you understand his reasoning for what he chooses to do. And this is not a spoiler. This is the general plot of Breaking Bad. That the only reason he does what he does is because he gets cancer and he cannot afford his treatment, and that's why he gets into the world that he falls into. I won't even say he falls into the world that he walks into. Right? If he had health care, Breaking Bad would never happen. And that goes to show for a lot of people in general that a lot of people make choices that they normally wouldn't make due to dire circumstances because we just can't afford it. See, first season was so slow, that's why I stopped watching it. That's what I'm saying. The first season is slow. The first season is definitely slow, but it really picks up around the third season, if I remember correctly. It's been off for a while, but if you watch Breaking Bad and you get into the end of the second season, third, that's when it picks up really good. That's why everybody says the show is so goated. Bro, the end was peak. You know what I'm saying? When you saw it, it removed you into the beginning of the show. Then Walton and Chase saw each other. His name was Jesse, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Jesse. It was Jesse. Jesse Pinkman. So I'm not trying to spoil it for the other person that's in here right now. I will say this, that comes full circle, that the meet at the end. But sometimes I just want to be completely surprised and thrown off. You know, not every. I'm not saying I justify his actions. I just understand it, being a man in America who has a family to support. And sometimes you do things to make sure they'll be okay, and you end up losing everything at the end. It kind of sucks though. But Jesse was the biggest problem with the show. Walt probably would have got away with everything if it wasn't for Jesse. 100%. Walt would have got away with everything if it wasn't for Jesse. Jesse was his Achilles heel. I don't know. This depends on the shape of your head. Should you go bald or grow a mullet? It just depends on the shape of your head. Not everybody can pull off a bald head. I know before I decided to start shaving my head bald, I had a high top fade. I love my high top fade. I miss my high top fade. I had some patience to grow it out again. Let's see, the first season it had to be a little bit slow. You have to make the story in your eyes front and me understand the story. What's going on? Hi, man. And again, if y'all still watching, go ahead and like, give me a subscriber too. I appreciate it. But yeah, breaking. Let's see. Yeah, true. My head is shaped like a Dorito. All right, I can't. I don't know how to comment on that one. Are you from America? Cool. You have a question. What's your question, man? Is it worth studying in America? I will say this, and I'm going to be honest with you because my daughter's going to college next year. It's worth it if it's in the right location, in the right university or college you're going to. It's 100% worth it, but it has to be the right place. If it's not the right place, then no. I will say this in general, and I'm not trying to get too deep into politics right now, but they say this for a reason. They say a lot of progressives are in, they say a lot of progressives are more educated and a lot of conservatives are not as much, right? So if you're looking for a college university, I would say maybe look for more of a liberal college, you know, and even if you have maybe a conservative belief, a liberal college will get you a better education overall, because a lot of the Ivy League colleges are liberal colleges. When you look at Harvard, liberal. Yale, for the most part, liberal. Vanderbilt, liberal. A lot of these colleges that are considered like high-end colleges are liberal. So if you're going to look for a college, try to get into a liberal college. Is it a good choice to raise your kids in Wyoming or Utah? Honestly, I don't know. I've never been. I will say that Utah, every single state has its issues and have their own little stereotypes, right? Like, I'm from Florida, so they always say that, you gotta worry about Florida man, right? However, when it comes to Utah, what they say, you gotta worry about that. You can fill in the blank there, and a lot of Mormonism and polygamy, things of that nature. So every single state has its own issue. Um, I will say this: I wouldn't want to be in a state that's majority Caucasian. Uh, Diversity in Utah, and this is this if you look at a map, and it's like you type it into Google, like what's the demographics in Utah in general. It is There's very small minority groups in Utah, so I wouldn't want to be in a state like that in general. Just for the fact I like the multiculturalisms of every single state, and it's not just because Utah's a red state. Texas is a red state, but Texas is very multicultural. So that's what I mean there. I would want to live or go to school in any state, whether it's red or blue, as long as it's very multicultural, if that makes sense. Is it worth studying? I already read that. Is it a good choice? I already read that. Thanks for the advice, my friend. Cool, no problem. Is Cambridge more on the liberal side or the conservative side? I don't know much about Cambridge, mainly because that wasn't one of the schools that my daughter applied to. I know she applied to some of the other Ivy Leagues I mentioned earlier, but Cambridge is not one of them. I don't know him personally, but I know what you're talking about. And I will say this: I have played with some questionable animals, but I will never yoink any animal like that in my life like he does. Like, he has a death wish when it comes to that, because you got to think about it. He does that in the Everglades. The Everglades is not a joke. Well, he says he does that in the Everglades. Do I honestly think he does all this stuff in Everglades? No. And a lot of animals he chooses to yoink are normally younger. But normally when there's a younger animal there, a larger animal is not too far away. So I wouldn't take that risk personally of yoinking a smaller animal and the little animal's mother or father is there and potentially could get him. That's just my opinion of it. Being in Florida, now we have alligator zoos here. Now we have alligator zoos when you can sit here and go pet a gator and stuff. We have all kinds of crazy stuff that you can go see and do. We swim with sharks, like literally swim with sharks. We just do stuff differently here. But sitting here antagonizing and grading an animal that doesn't want, nah, not doing it. Alligator soup. No, I never had alligator soup. Now, normally when I have gator, we just fry it. It's deep fried. You just eat it like you would a piece of chicken for the most part, a piece of chicken or a piece of pork. Alligator is surprisingly good. I remember the first time when I had alligator, I was surprised how much it tasted like chicken. I know they say everything tastes like chicken, but alligator literally does taste like chicken. Let's see. Do you pee on a jellyfish thing? I haven't. Now, what I would do is, if it's a jellyfish thing, which I had to do before, don't pee on it. You just wait till you get home or go to a local store and you just take some baking soda and you put a little bit of vinegar in there till it turns into a paste like, and you just put it on the jellyfish thing. And that'll help relieve a lot of pain. You don't gotta pee on jellyfish thing. That's the dumbest shit in the world. My bad. I shouldn't have cursed. But whoever said that, I never understood that. Like we're taught that at a very young age not to pee on jellyfish stings. I don't know who does that. I know it was on a TV show at one point in time, but I never had experience to where I seen somebody get stung by a jellyfish and somebody just wants to pee on them. I think that's some kind of fetish stuff. That's not real life. I have declined to eat lizards. And I know this sounds weird for me to say this, but lizards just look too fucking weird to me. That's the only reason I haven't ate a lizard. Like I ate a snake. You know, eating snakes down here is pretty common. Eating gators is pretty common. But for some reason, this is something about a lizard. Maybe because their tails just fall off and it grows back. There's just something about a lizard that doesn't make me want to eat a lizard. No. And like when you're in the South, like the deep South, people eat all kinds of stuff. They'll eat raccoons, they'll eat squirrels, they'll just eat birds. So you'll see things that we'll just eat that is not the normal of other people in other states would. Like if you're in the South in general, and when I say South, I mean like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, you'll probably have some squirrels too, depending where you go to. But that's just what a lot of southern states had to do to survive and get by, was go out and eat nature. So yeah. Bear Grylls or Bear Grylls, Man versus Wild. I heard of Man versus Wild, but truth be told, I don't think I ever watched any of those shows. Eating raccoons, wow. So whenever I was really young, growing up in the country, and I kid you not, anybody who's from the South, like really from the South, not somebody who migrated from the South. So like lately, we've been having a lot of people from like New York and things of that nature trying to migrate to the South. But if you speak to like a real Southerner that's from the South, they have eaten raccoon before. They have eaten squirrel before. They have eaten some type of animal you may see running across the street, except for a rat. Nobody eats a damn fucking rat, but you'll see that, and that was just normal. I mean, there's a guy on YouTube who's from the South. I can't think of what his name right now. Black dude who made like a large fryer. He made squirrels. No, yeah, he made raccoon stew before, but he made raccoon gumbo, and I was just like, you know, it's one of those things that you do it when you're a kid. It's not something you do now. This like when I was a kid, I would eat pickled pig feet. That's not something I would ever eat as an adult now. I just don't do it. But when you're a kid, it's just something you did. Cool. I appreciate the questions. I like talking to you too. But yeah, any southern, especially ones for Alabama, those Alabama men and women, they be eating. I just now recently learned about Alabama hot bag, and I was like, what the hell is that? They be making us stuff to eat in Alabama. Alabama is different. Alabama, Mississippi, they're different. But I will tell you this. If you want a really good Southern woman, like a really good Southern woman, go to Mississippi. I kid you not. Mississippi Southern women are different. So if you ever want a good Southern woman, get a woman from Mississippi. They use solar or grid. Solar or grid for what? Like my house? Man. I should get off here and get changed and go to the gym. That's what I really need to do. So I was going to go this morning, but I got sidetracked with other things I had to do. So I need to go today. I don't want to go at night, so I know it's going to get cold around that time. My house electricity. No, I'm still on the grid, unfortunately. I live in like a neighborhood, and some of my neighborhoods do have solar panels. But I will tell you this. When you live in a state that consistently gets hurricanes, and with those hurricanes, that normally means your roof is going to get blown off or severely damaged. a solar panel is not a great investment. Now, if I was to live in a state that didn't get consistent hurricanes, then maybe I would have considered it. But when I was inquiring about the solar panels, for one, if you're not able to pay for 100% out of pocket, you got to pay for that every single month, which added to your electricity costs. Two, the panels themselves, the insurance policy varies. And sometimes when it comes to, and not even sometimes, a lot of times when it comes to insurance policies, they could change it just like that, right? They could change it to where, oh, well, this storm is outside of classification. You got to pay for this out of pocket. And the other part is if it damaged your roof, you still got to pay for that out of pocket too. So it's just too much consequences for, there's too much consequence and not enough reward for solar panels at this time. Now, I have been seeing like really great like shingle solar panels that's really strong and things of that nature. And that's something I may invest in eventually once I get my daughter off to college. But as of right now, no, it is not a smart investment as of right now for me. How do you put the power outages? It was on store. So, generators. If you are in Florida or in southern state, so if you are in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas, those 5 states in particular, you need to have a generator in your house. You got to have a generator. Um, because we all know if a hurricane hits, which it most likely will, it's going to hit one of those 5 states that is mentioned. And you're going to need a generator to get through those days. Because sometimes your power may be out for a day or for a week. I had a hurricane hit here about 3 or 4 years ago. I've got the name of the storm at this point. And my power was out for 7 days. But I had a generator. Generating my life a lot easier. I was the last house in my city is seeing to get power back. And the funny part about it is the way my neighborhood was split, like the one half of the neighborhood had power, the other half didn't. So I was just like, how come they got their power back like 4 days ago and we still got our power out over here? So, yeah, so if you live in the South, have a generator. Have a good generator too. And if you get able to modify your, what's that thing called? The box that has all your switches. I forgot what it's called. I can't think of what it's called right now. If you're able to modify that to where you can plug your generator into that directly so they can power your whole entire house, that's even better. And then if you do have a generator, make sure it has the capability of having a gas and also a backup battery too. So just in case you run out of gas, which it will happen probably, especially if you have it on all night, it'll just automatically switch on the battery. And then finally, I will say this. You can never have your generator inside, right? So let's say if you did have it in your garage and you have it like your garage door open at night, you got to close your garage to where it's cracked and locked so nobody will try to sneak in and steal your generator. Because that's like the most common theft when a hurricane happens is people stealing generators. I kid you not. I don't know how I got on the topic of storms and generators, but yeah. So, me personally, I normally try to go to the farmer's market. Now, of course, we have grocery stores here. Like we have a Walmart, we have Publix, we have a Fresh Mart. But if I can go to like a local farmer's market to buy a lot of my vegetables, I will. Um, One thing I would say, I rarely buy vegetables from Walmart. I will buy stuff from Publix and I will buy stuff from Fresh Market, but I normally avoid anything that I got inside my body from Walmart. The meat tastes disgusting. The vegetables look weird the majority of the time. Just no. So if I'm gonna buy vegetables, Just keep in mind, avoid Walmart. Publix is normally good. Fresh Mart is normally good. Farmers Market, great. Even if I buy my meats, I don't buy my meats from Walmart at all. I just bought some meat just as a test, because I normally go to my local butcher shop and get my meats, my chicken, my beef, my steaks, whatever. I will go there and buy that, right? And one night the butcher shop was closed, and I wanted some extra chicken for my jerk chicken. And so I went to the Walmart to buy some chicken. But one, it smelled disgusting. Two, it looked overly white. Three, it smelled weird. So I was like, maybe I'm just tripping because I'm so used to going to the butcher shop to buy my food. When I ate that chicken from Walmart, it made me want to throw up. Like, it made me nauseous to where I felt like that food was still in my stomach days later. Yeah, I'm never buying chicken and stuff again from Walmart ever, or Publix if they use the same brand as Walmart. So that's why I'm saying that I think that's what it is a lot of the time too. Because when you have people saying that, because you go online a lot of the time, you have people saying like, "Oh yeah, um, I bought some chicken. It made me feel sick and all that sort of. I just can't eat chicken or consume anymore." I understand why they said that. You know, when you buy it from the butcher shop, they normally get their stuff locally that's grown. Whenever you're getting it from, you know, those large grocery stores, you don't know where it's really coming from. Thanksgiving is cool. I really don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So instead of like cooking a turkey like everybody else in the world, I made a smoked brisket. So I smoked the brisket for about 12 hours. No, it wasn't 12. It was 8 hours. Yeah, I smoked the brisket for about 8 hours. And it was really good. It was really good. Um, and the reason I really even did anything for Thanksgiving is because, you know, I still have my daughter here. She wanted to celebrate Thanksgiving, even though I tell her all the time the holiday is not what she thinks it is, and yada, yada, yada. You know, the history behind Thanksgiving is actually pretty dark, but I just went ahead and did it for her. So instead of a turkey, I did a brisket. Yeah, I did a brisket and I did some dressing, some macaroni and cheese. I made a sweet potato pie. And one thing I never understood is how people like stuffing instead of dressing. Dressing is far superior in my opinion. Like, I had stuffing multiple times, can't stand it. But when it comes to when it comes to stuffing, I don't understand how stuffing is a thing. Stuffing is just disgusting to me. I don't think I ever had any good stuffing. All right. Well, I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate you guys for watching and just talking with me for a little bit. I'm about to go eat some stuffing and probably make a brisket sandwich. So, again, if you guys haven't subscribed, please do so. I appreciate the positive interactions, and I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the weekend.